De legendarische gietijzeren AGA-fornuizen worden al sinds de jaren 30 van de vorige eeuw gemaakt in het Britse Telford. Het benodigde gietijzer komt uit de ijzergieterij in Colebrookdale, vlakbij het plaatsje Iron Bridge, waar ook de gelijknamige Iron Bridge ligt, die uit gietijzer is opgetrokken. In deze omgeving is van alles van gietijzer, zoals raamkozijnen, regenpijpen en trottoirbanden. Het fabricatieproces in de Colebrookdale ijzergieterij is door de decennia heen nauwelijks veranderd. Je waant je er dan ook in de 19e eeuw. In de ovens, die met kooks gestookt worden, verdwijnt allerlei oud ijzer om er omgesmolten te worden bij temperaturen rond de 1800 graden. Het gietijzer wordt niet alleen voor het inwendige van de AGA-fornuizen gebruikt, ook de buitenkant is uit veel gietijzeren delen opgetrokken, zoals de ovendeuren, die in een hele reeks kleuren geëmailleerd worden. Het vele gietijzer bepaalt niet alleen het gewicht en de prijs van een AGA-fornuis, het is ook verantwoordelijk voor het kookkarakter.
AGA is so famous for its cooking excellence, and it's about the radiant heat. So radiant heat is different from just air temperature. We make conventional cookers as well, and you know that some of them are with fan ovens, and having hot air can dry food out, can cook it slightly quickly. An AGA is like having a friend. It's a bit kinder to food, it gives you a bit of leeway. In other words, you don't have to be so precise because it's not going to overbrown just like that. And radiant heat doesn't take the moisture out of food like cooking it by hot air. Radiant heat, it's a bit like infrared heat. So having said that, people go, oh, well, what temperature is it? And they come up and they say, I've got to know what temperature they are. And it's like I say to them, what temperature is your microwave? And it's like, oh! It's a different concept. And when it was designed in the 1920s by a scientist, and that was Dr. Gustaf Dahlén in Sweden, then he was looking at efficiency, he was looking at a better product to cook with that was reliable, and used a small heat source, so that was coal or coke, to be the centre of this AGA. And it's so designed that each part of an AGA is preset at a different heat.
So a traditional heat storage AGA is on all the while. So in the centre underneath the top plate here we've got a circular barrel of cast iron, and within the cast iron itself we've actually got a flame or a fuel source that heats up the cast iron. The cast iron gently trickles the heat out to other areas of the cooker. So the story of the cooker is about the internal workings. So directly situated above the barrel underneath, you're going to get the hottest plate. So the heat from a science always rises. So this is always the hottest part of the cooker. So this is where you'd actually do all of your boiling. The heat then transfers across the top of the cooker to the simmering plate, which is the next coolest part, but it also attaches inside to the actual oven itself. So the inside of the ovens themselves are all the walls, including the back, are all made from cast iron. So on a traditional AGA, because you've got heat radiating from all surfaces, it's actually pushing the moisture back into the food and not drying the food out, so you get more succulent food. I'm just going to take the top off so you can see inside the cooker itself. So take the expansion ring off, take out the simmering plate, and if you want to come and have a look on the inside, you'll see that the cast iron is actually much bigger on the outside of the oven. Because this is warm, the air's transferring over the little jump inside, transferring out, and then all the products of combustion are going up the chimney, and then dropping down is the colder air, and that's recirculating to actually transfer the heat around the cooker. So it's a self-circulating cooker on the inside. The cast iron's quite thick because it's actually absorbing the heat, and therefore when you open the lid you're able to cook on it straight away. People always ask, how long does a cooker last for? Well, the cooker we've got on this side here is a cooker that was in continuous use for 77 years. We ran a competition when the foundry was 300 years old to actually find the oldest cooker that was in working in order. And this is it. It belongs to Mr. and Mrs. Het. It's nice, safely stored in the history room here so that we can actually look after. This would originally been a 2-oven AGA with a boiler for water in the centre and then the firebox on the left-hand side.
This is our recycling area. Remember, with cast iron, you can take it back and melt it down, and inside every new AGA cooker is a little bit of an old one. A rebirth, a resurrection. The standard AGA cooker, there were lots and lots of those sold, 1935 to 1971. This one had a boiler to it, so it heated the water. And we have a trade-in the UK, so people would trade in their old AGA cookers when they're buying a new one. We have them back and recycle them. So everybody wins.
Trek je nog meer smakelijke video's? Abonneer je dan op ons YouTube kanaal of schrijf je in voor onze nieuwsbrief.